your CCTV camera is a sensor, but think about that data goes to a Chinese server. Demand product development. Today we have zero product development, to be frank. We have product assembly, we assemble phones, we assemble cars, but we don't design products. I think Kerala government has recognized semiconductor as a field to be.
Hello and welcome to Technopark's next podcast, Aspire Stories of Innovation. Today we have Mr. Jyothis Indirabhai, the CEO of Netrasemi. Welcome to the show, sir. Sir, I would like to know what inspired the beginning of Netrasemi in 2020 and how it aligns with the semiconductor landscape of India.
So the Netrasemi was found in 2020. So when we started the company, we have a vision of creating a unique chip for the market. That was the idea. The work for the technology happened even 3 to 4 years before. So it is not that we started in 2020
Right.
and the idea was formed then. The thought process came even like 2017 time frame. And we knew that the automation is going to be prominent throughout the world, and technologies like IoTs will demand a lot of automation, and that is what we conceived that time, to build a technology for the future, especially for IoT segment, where automation is the key for everything, and IoT needs a revamp using automation technologies. So that was the concept which guided us to create this Netrasemi. So we wanted to build a set of chip, not one chip, to create automation technologies or aid automation technologies for IoT segment, right? And that is how the idea of the chip came, and we had the right team by that time. I had my co-founders like Srijit Verma, Deva, all of them joined us. We were able to create a team in Trivandrum, and that's how the journey of Netrasemi started.
Great. Sir, how does Netrasemi's system on chips and AI efficiency, how it matters to the global edge computing scenario?
Okay. As I mentioned earlier, IoT is going to be revamped with the new type of designs, chips, and the add-ons to the IoT market. So here, when it comes to AI, it is extremely power demanding. I mean, performance demanding. That means it needs huge amount of processing power. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to IoT, it has to be extremely power efficient also.
Correct.
So performance and power efficiency need to happen together in the chips to make it attractive in the market. So that is a great problem to solve. So IoT became AIoT because AI enabled IoT, right? And here, when you involve AI in IoT processing, when it comes to devices like IoT devices, small devices, like deployed at different kind of environments, you need extreme power efficiency and performance, right? You cannot compromise on both fronts.
True.
That is where the chip designs become extremely complex, right? So system on chips designed by Netrasemi, they are addressing this problem, right? The power efficiency and performance requirement of IoT market, right?
Got it.
So, and how that can be done? You need unique hardware acceleration IP cores, silicon IP cores.
Right.
You should integrate into the chips. That is how you can address this IoT's requirement of power efficiency and performance. And that is exactly what Netrasemi is focusing on.
I would like to know in what ways the Technopark ecosystem and its infrastructure helped semiconductor companies like Netrasemi.
Okay. So, means even before coming to Trivandrum, I worked in San Diego, in Bay Area.
Okay.
So, and also Bangalore for some time. So what I noticed, what is making Trivandrum different from other cities like Bangalore or say Bay Area.
Correct.
There is a big Kerala feeling within the startups, because of the language and the citizen feeling, right? And that is making Trivandrum a unique place for startups. So that the camaraderie feeling is there, and Technoparks aid that community building.
Correct.
Right. So in Technopark, even though you are part of the Technopark or outside the Technopark, but there is a good the team ecosystem existing, and people have meetups, breakfast meetings,
Right.
and there are technical even like say fire. Right. These kind of events help to build community feeling within startups, and that I haven't seen in Bangalore or Bay Area, right? So and this is an extremely important thing, because you can in startup you have to ask certain guidelines, like you may need some mandates.
Correct.
You need some guidance on certain aspects, say investment or things like
Right.
that. So this community is helping each other to grab this information, understand what each others are doing, how you can create partnerships.
Right.
So Technopark, I would say, the biggest contribution of Technopark to Trivandrum or even Kerala is to build this community feeling and allow startups to interact each other and create good technologies for the future.
Got it. So it is more of a collaborative kind of a network that
Yes,
helped.
yes,
Helped. Great.
And everyone, each one of the companies are trying to help each other. It's not like
Absolutely.
you're working in kind of, you're
Correct,
building something in a corner. Right?
True. And we have that interest also to help each other and to align with everybody's goals. And
That's a unique advantage Trivandrum has.
Great. How Netrasemi have collaborated with Technopark-based companies or initiatives, especially in the the research and development of semiconductor, in that segment. Have you came across any such things?
We actually, there are no direct connection to the semiconductor companies, because probably in Technopark we are the only semiconductor company.
Correct.
But
In fact, in Kerala also very few.
yeah, Kerala also probably 1 or 2 or maximum 3 companies in the domain.
Okay.
Right? But semiconductor does not go alone in a product. Semiconductor needs softwares, right? Semiconductor goes into products, right? So it is a essential component of product making. And there are multiple product companies in Technopark and across Kerala.
Correct.
Right? So that ecosystem is extremely important for Netrasemi. So we work with several companies who are in, say, robotics field,
Right.
or IoT domain. So we are actually getting a couple of collaborations or even partnerships with organizations who are in these sectors. Right?
Okay.
It is extremely important for them, because they are getting early access to the system on chips, right? So that their products can be better, and they get early interaction opportunities with the chip company.
Correct.
And for us, it helps to create solutions earlier than your final chip release. So that way, together we can go to market. So that is the advantage we are getting by interacting with other companies in Technopark, especially who are building real hardware products.
So in fact, maybe your background in Intel also helped you in this journey, right?
Yeah, Intel. My past experience with Intel, and in fact, I value more my semiconductor experience, a semiconductor startup experience in San Diego and Bay Area.
Right. Which company was that?
This was probably the name of the company is Vidcom, and this was one of the earliest Bluetooth startup in the world.
Oh,
right.
Great.
We designed world's first Bluetooth baseband and the software stack.
Okay.
And this was got acquired by Broadcom.
Okay.
So I was part of those kind of companies. in US and San Diego especially. And then later I joined Intel. These experiences really helped me to get confidence on how the startup ecosystem works, how to go through multiple phases of your startup journey. Right. So that really helped in creating such an initiative and building this.
So, as a startup, everybody faces certain level of challenges, right? So, what are the challenges that you see as a company that faces, when it comes to building the organization, and also as a semiconductor segment? In the semiconductor segment, what are the challenges that has been faced? Can you brief about such challenges?
So, unlike the software or software-based product making, semiconductor is an extremely capital-intensive development process.
Yes.
Right. So a regular chip will take at least several crores of rupees, right? Or I would say around 30 million US dollars you have to spend to create even a simplest of chip. Right. So capital raising is extremely important for semiconductor startups.
Correct.
And the biggest challenge in India for that is the Indian investors are not familiar with this technology. First of all, this technology, you have to educate them.
Correct.
And then convince them the potential and all those things. So that is the biggest challenge any semiconductor startup will face.
Correct.
Right. The second biggest thing is the talent. Fortunately for us, we took a strategy to hire interns, train them, and make them ready for the process. So it took some time, but it finally paid off. So we were able to create a semiconductor startup trained workforce working in Trivandrum. So Trivandrum has very good talent,
Correct.
very good universities around, but you have to be patient and build those people, right?
And
so we invested on those people.
Correct. And you have handpicked these people.
We have handpicked people and trained them through the process. So, so now I feel very confident of taking on this challenge. The third challenge is actually the ecosystem, right? You don't have a real product ecosystem in India, right? Indian players, the product makers, are used to import parts, just put some labels, sell it, make money, and call it
white labeling.
White labeling is all what we have been doing. So to convince them to go away from their traditional supply chain and use an India-made chip for building for products, this is another big challenge, because they are used to this assembly mode and they don't want to change.
Suddenly someone came and said, like, we can make it.
Exactly. So these are the three primary challenges for a semiconductor startup in India. But there are, I mean, when we started it, we were like doubtful. I mean, we had these doubts, right? How to address these three things. But we were fortunate to address all the three problems, and a lot of geopolitical situation around the world helped us, right? So for example, Chinese situation, Taiwan situation, and global economic changes. So these kind of changes forced the Indian government and the governments around the world to rethink their semiconductor strategy. So semiconductor is the fuel of the future product making, because the new technologies like AI, are forcing governments to consider semiconductor very seriously. Because today's the war is based on chips. So denying AI chips to nation is the best way to counter them militarily.
True.
Right. So these are the strategies governments are forming. So semiconductor is a field no government can ignore these days. Right. That is surely shown in EU, US. All those nations are spending billions of dollars now to build their semiconductor ecosystem. And probably we are the first 4 companies to be declared for the DLI award. And probably first 13 companies to be selected for C2S award. 2 schemes we received from the central government, which is probably the biggest in India. Right? So as an early mover advantage we received, and that is benefiting us for our journey.
Next, I would like to know how Netrasemi's advancement in AI acceleration course helped. In fact, if you can give us a little more idea about the Edge AI, because that is kind of trending, and I think people should know about it.
I think it's a very good question, right? So what is Edge AI? First of all, what is IoT? IoT is like a large distribution of sensors worldwide. And there are servers, a center brain like cloud servers sitting somewhere in US or somewhere. So that is the main compute power. Right? All these sensors are just dummy sensors. They just send some data and they are there. Right? That has different challenges. Right? Your video camera, your CCTV camera is a sensor. But think about that data goes to a Chinese server. Right? Majority of our government infrastructures are monitored by CCTV cameras that send data to the Chinese servers. Right? That is the biggest security threat our country is having. In fact, that affected Ukraine war, and US recently has banned almost all cameras, many of the camera brands. Okay, this is an extremely grave situation.
Right.
So when this IoT sensors, so this is, I'm just talking about CCTV camera.
Right.
What about your power grid sensors? What about your strategic installations?
Correct.
All these data are going to a central cloud, and you really don't know where the central cloud is.
True.
You're getting right?
Yeah.
So this is the field that needs lot of local processing, local decision making, without exposing all your private and secure data to the cloud.
Correct.
Okay, that is a new segment, and that segment does not exist today.
Got it.
Right, and that is where companies, that is what called Edge AI. You are doing AI analytics on device, on premise, without sending data to the cloud. Right, and then of course you can send some data to the cloud which is not critical.
Understood.
Right, and that is the new kind of compute model that is evolving.
Got it.
And there are no new chips for those domains, and those chips need to be created, and that is what the importance of Netrasemi. Right. We are in the middle of creating such chips, video analytics chips, sensor data, sensor fusion chips, which can do on device, on premise AI processing.
Understood.
Right? And it is extremely critical for the nation.
Correct.
Right. Look at this way. India and Kerala has missed the one big bus, technology bus, which is IoT.
Correct.
We simply created service companies.
Right.
Right. We work for someone else's products.
Correct.
Right. And we imported those products.
Right.
Right. We never try to create a product ecosystem. Even today we only have an IT mission. We don't have a product mission. Right.
Yeah.
So we missed the product bus, and Edge AI is a new opportunity for Kerala, where we can build, or India, where we can build products for this new technology.
Yes.
I think that is extremely critical for
especially in this scenario.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So I think those data, if it goes to the wrong hands,
yeah, it's a big thing. I mean, if you look at Indian defense, they are floating new kind of idea invitations. For that, they have to enhance the defense system with the new technologies that protects data.
Yes.
Right. Almost all sectors in India demand product development. Today we have zero product development, to be frank. We have product assembly, we assemble phones, we assemble cars, but we don't design products. Right. That is where Indian startups should tap this opportunity. Indian governments, or state governments or central governments, should realize this situation and respond accordingly.
Correct. Finally, I would like to know, what is your vision for semiconductor segment in Kerala, and how Netrasemi is trying to contribute to this future, especially in the next decade. And also want to add on to ask, what is the advice that you want to give to the startups and organizations getting into this particular segment?
I think Kerala government has recognized semiconductor as a field to be, right? And in fact, almost many other states also realize that need. You can see lakhs of crores investment in Thodera, Assam, everywhere. I mean, across India, that movement is happening. Indian and Kerala government is also very serious about it. I can see that kind of actions they are taking. But they have to think very carefully about the kind of semiconductor ecosystem they want to create in Kerala, right? The geological situation of Kerala, demography, the type of quality of revenue, quality of employment you can create. These are the important things Kerala government should consider, right? Because there are multiple segments of semiconductor. Semiconductor design segments are there, semiconductor fabrication segments are there. Each has its own advantages and disadvantages, right? So the Kerala government should study this extremely carefully, and they take a path which is appropriate for Kerala. Right. That is extremely important. The opportunities are extremely huge. Right. Significant amount of attention is there in the field, and government should tap it. But my advice to the Kerala ecosystem is to tap the product opportunity, not just the semiconductor opportunity, the product opportunity. Kerala must have a product mission,
Right.
right? Not an IT mission, not a software mission, should have a product mission. Right?
Got it.
Once you think about product mission and a 10-year plan for in Kerala's product industry,
Right.
right, then everything will fall in place,
Got it.
right? So that's what my wish list for Kerala.
A decade of investment should be there. Like
A decade. So once the government have a mission, everything else fall in line.
all place. Correct.
My experience with startup ecosystem is it started from US and other places.
Right.
It is, I mean, people take startup as like you just create and you become an owner and you are happy,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
It is an extremely challenging journey, and you should first decide that you want to be a startup entrepreneur, right?
Right.
On top of that, find what is your USP, what is your best at.
Correct.
Right? If you are best at hardware, software, or something like that, create IPs in that sector. Think product.
Got it.
Okay. Service is of course good, but there is certain, you can grow only to the certain extent. Okay. It is an easy journey. I have nothing against service business,
Got it.
but it is still not as growth prone like product industry, right? So my
The
recommendation
reward is higher on the
reward is higher, the risk is higher,
right.
reward is even
Obviously,
higher,
yes.
right? So my advice to the startups in Kerala is to pick a domain that is futuristic like Edge AI, and invest time on IP making. That means you should have unique proposition in your products, right? Invest time on building a unique product, work with your partner ecosystem, and make sure that when you go to market, you have a USP. An ideal thing is if you can capitalize the chip advantage or location advantage like a Kerala advantage. So if you can identify a product which is extremely critical for Indian market, that's the best thing you can be. Of course, you should try to sell globally, but Indian market is definitely your advantage.
So that is a wonderful conversation we had around the semiconductors and the atmosphere that's in India for companies in this segment to grow. It's great talking to you. Thank you so much for your time, and wishing Netrasemi all the very best. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
So we will see on the next episode of Aspire Stories of Innovation. Thank you.